7th, and 8th, we're going to ask you to come out and vote for the positions of Student Assembly and University Assembly. In order to give you the most amount of knowledge about the candidates, we're assembled here tonight through a candidates forum so that members of the community, as well as members running for the respected positions, can ask questions amongst each other and answer key questions so you know the most amount about your candidates. We're going to start off tonight's program by letting all the candidates introduce themselves and tell them what seat they're running for.
My name is Lisa Edelman. I'm a sophomore and I'm running for the hotel school seat.
Hi, I'm Zach Kanine. I'm a freshman. I'm running for the hotel school seat.
Hi, I'm Johan Chow. I'm a sophomore and I'm running for the human ecology seat.
Hi, my name's Frankie Lind. I'm a junior. I'm running for the human ecology seat.
Hi, my name is Sari Rubin. I'm a freshman. I'm also running for the human ecology seat.
Hi, my name is Leslie Barkemeyer. I'm a freshman, and I'm running for the LGBTQ Liaison at Large seat.
Hi, I'm Kuz. I'm losing my voice here. I'll be running for LGBTQ, and my voice is going to crack a lot here, but all right.
My name is Ryan Horn. I'm a sophomore in Arts and Sciences, and I'm running for the University Assembly seat.
Hi, my name is Gina Kwan, and I'm running for the University Assembly seat, and I'm a freshman.
Hi, my name is Matthew Banner, and I'm a junior in the ILR, and I'm seeking re-election for the University Assembly.
Hi, my name is Scott Beamer. I'm a freshman in the Arts and Sciences School, and I'm running for the University Assembly.
Hi, my name is Amy Gerhard, and I'm a freshman in ILR, and I'm running for the University Assembly.
My name is Mark Weisenborn. I'm a junior in ILR, and I'm running for the ILR seat.
Hi, my name is Rachel Jacobs. I'm a sophomore in ILR, and I'm running for the ILR seat.
Hi, I'm Gershon Leventhal, running for the Minority Liaison seat. I'm a freshman.
Hi, my name is Adam Romero. I'm a sophomore in Arts and Sciences, and I'm running for the minority seat.
Hi, my name is Tom Mendez. I'm a freshman in ILR, and I'm running for the Minority Liaison at Large seat.
Hi, my name is Norcy Martin. I'm a government major in Arts and Sciences School. I'm running for the Minority Liaison at Large seat.
Hi, my name is Amy Gershkoff. I'm a sophomore in the College of Arts and Sciences, and I'm running for the Minority Liaison seat.
Hi, I'm Greek Mike. I'm running for the Ag seat. I'm a junior in the Ag school.
Hi, my name's Carlos Johnson. I'm currently a new student representative on the Student Assembly, and I'm running for the engineering seat.
Hi, my name's Ray Benenato. I'm a freshman, and I'm running for the engineering seat.
Hello, my name is James Edward Lamb Jr. I'm currently a new student at large representative on the Student Assembly, and I'm running for undesignated at large. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Sam Mertzmer. I'm running for the Arts and Sciences seat.
Hi, my name is Jessie King. I'm a sophomore, and I'm running for the Arts and Sciences seat.
Hi, my name is Garrett Lang. I'm a junior in Arts and Sciences, and I'm running for one of the Arts and Sciences seats.
My name is Mark Greenbaum. I'm a sophomore in Arts and Sciences, and I'm running to be a representative for the College of Arts and Sciences.
Hi, my name is Dan Orcutt. I'm a freshman in the Arts and Sciences School, and I'm running for the Arts and Sciences seat.
Hi, I'm Nina, and I'm running for Student Assembly undesignated at large, and I'm a freshman in the Arts and Sciences School. I was going to call it Arts and Crafts, sorry.
Hi, my name is Jamie Hanlon. I'm a freshman in ILR running for the undesignated at large seat.
Hi, my name is Lee Rudofsky. I've been on the Student Assembly for 3 years. I'm a junior in ILR, and I'm running again for undesignated at large. Thanks.
My name is Dan Dimmenberg. I'm a freshman in arts, and I'm running for undesignated at large.
Hi, my name is Uzo Osonye. I am currently Vice Chair of the University Assembly. I'm a sophomore in the School of Industrial and Labor Relations, and I'm running for undesignated at large.
Good evening, my name is Mike Brown. I'm a sophomore in human ecology, and I'm running for undesignated at large.
Hey, I'm Derek Zampor. You could call me DZ, and I'm running for international.
Now that you've met all the candidates, let me briefly explain how tonight is going to work. The first part of tonight's program, we have 2 general-based questions that we're going to entertain debate for 20 minutes. Each candidate will have the opportunity to come up and speak for 45 seconds on how they feel about the issue. The 2 topics selected for the questions involved are, first, diversity at Cornell, and second, student apathy. I'm going to read the first question twice, and then I'm going to start entertaining a speakers list, so all of you will have the opportunity to speak on these questions. Question 1, issues pertaining to student diversity. Everyone at Cornell agrees that diversity is an important goal to achieve, yet no one has suggested a way to achieve it. What do you think is something we could do as an assembly, as well as yourself as a candidate, to further our quest for a diverse Cornell? Let me repeat the question. Everyone at Cornell agrees that diversity is an important goal to achieve, yet no one has suggested a way to achieve it. What do you think is something we could do as an assembly, and you as a candidate, to further our quest for a diverse Cornell? I will now take a speakers list for people wishing to answer this question. Mike Brown, you're first. You have 45 seconds.
Thanks, Josh. I think diversity is absolutely essential to Cornell. Most of my learning at Cornell hasn't come out of the mouth of a professor or the pages of a textbook. It's come from my interactions with other people on this campus from diverse backgrounds. I think we'll never ensure a diverse Cornell as long as members of minority groups, different religious groups, or different orientations don't feel comfortable coming to this campus because there's an environment of bias in existence here at Cornell. Recently, in fact, as early as last month, there were 4 bias-related harassment incidences at Balch Hall. This is in addition to several others we experienced last year and even last semester. We can't tolerate this. As a student assembly at Cornell, we have to stand up with whatever voice we have and tell the administration and tell the members of our community that we will not tolerate bias. I'm out of time. Thanks very much.
Okay, I'm just going to ask that in the future, candidates first state your name and what seat you're running for again before you speak. And second, if you could step up to the mics on the side, it's easier for our camera crews. Thanks. The next speaker is Gershon Leventhal.
Okay, hi, I'm Gershon Leventhal. I'm running for minority seat right now. I'm a freshman here, and during my very first week here during orientation, I was walking with a bunch of my friends who happened to be of Indian ancestry, and I experienced the first sort of discrimination I've ever experienced in my life. And I decided then that this is a big issue that I want to take up here at Cornell. And one of the biggest problems that I agree with Mike is that we have a lot of bias here. A lot of things have been done to suggest solutions to it. I live in the ILC. I'm also on the International Students Programming Board. I can tell you that one of the biggest things is when student involvement when students themselves reach out and do stuff. So if I were to be elected, I would increase the number of minority students that we would have here, as well as increase the involvement of the students that we already have here by reaching out to the program houses to see if they would engage in programs that would raise the level of awareness here at Cornell.
Thank you. The next speaker is Lee Rudofsky.
I would say that not only is diversity one of the most important issues we're dealing with on campus, it is by far the most important issue that we're dealing with on campus. It comes in maybe a close second to race relations, but I think those could probably be lumped in the same category. I don't think it's enough to go to the administration with resolutions and to clamor about how we're against bias and we don't like bias. Nobody likes bias. We all understand that. I don't think the administration thinks the Student Assembly approves of bias. What we have to do is reach out to every community at Cornell. We have to reach out to the entire Cornell community as a whole and have informal conversations and have debates and have all this communication about what we need to do as a university and as a student body. We have had none. We've almost had one informal meeting that I think about 5 community members have gone to. We really need to get the community involved.
Thank you, Lee. The next person is James Edward Lamb, Jr.
James Edward Lamb, Jr., running for undesignated at large. In all honesty, diversity is everyone's issue. Right now, Cornellians have an issue with being a part of their own community. You're either in Eco House, or you're in the Greek system, or you're in Ujima. But we all have to remember that we are all part of the same community. We are all Cornellians. I wrote R17, the resolution supporting affirmative action and proactive diversity initiatives, to get your student government involved in actually working on diversity on this campus. The informal meeting on diversity, that was part of the resolution. In all honesty, it's our problem and we can work on it. If we are going to be, as a student assembly, the proactive voice for Cornell, we have to work for you, and that means working for diversity on campus. I have done that and I will continue to do that if you'll let me.
Thank you, Mr. Lamb. The next candidate is Mark Weisenborn.
Mark Weisenborn, candidate for ILR. Agreeing with Mike, I believe that diversity adds a lot outside the classroom environment. But as an academic community, Cornell has to embrace diversity in order to have a breadth and depth of intellectual opinion and discussions. I believe that we should expand the concept of diversity to include individuals from depressed socioeconomic backgrounds, no matter what their race is, no matter what their color or their creed. My experience with the Hispanic theater production group, Teatro Taller, has showed me what a very diverse group of people can accomplish when they're together, and I encourage you all to see our next production at the end of the year. Thank you.
Okay, if you're just tuning in, this is the Student Assembly and University Assembly Candidates Forum. The question we're currently asking our candidates is, everyone at Cornell agrees that diversity is an important goal to achieve, yet no one has suggested a way to achieve it. What do you think is something we can do as an assembly, or you can do as a candidate, to further our quest for a diverse Cornell? The next speaker is Zach Conine.
Hi, I'm Zach Conine. I'm running for the Hotelli seat. Every day as I walk through the halls of the hotel school, I'm astounded by the high level of diversity we have there as compared to the rest of Cornell. I think that perhaps if the Student Assembly was to look at what the hotel school is obviously doing right and pass it along, it would help Cornell. Thank you.
Thank you. The next candidate is Matthew Banner.
Stand up on stage. Hi, I'm Matthew Banner and running again for University Assembly. And I'd like to, again, echo the comments of the previous speakers and say that diversity is a very good thing. It's very beneficial to community. And I'd also like to caution everybody to look beyond the stereotypes of individuals and really go out and meet people as people. And what we can do as University Assembly, as Student Assembly, are foster these community interactions between people, because I believe if we get to know people for who they are, instead of looking at them as a member of Group X or Group Y, if we break it down to the individual level, we'll foster a greater sense of community, and this in turn will benefit Cornell. Thank you.
The next candidate is Brian Kuzma.
Hi, I'm Brian Kuzma. I'm running for LGBTQ, and I think when talking about diversity, it's important to keep in mind that we overturned Plessy versus Ferguson about 44 years ago. So we need to stop segregating on campus. And in order to get equal rights for everyone, we need to integrate the community instead of separating. That's the only way we can stop discrimination on campus. We have to be the generation that stops the discrimination. Thank you.
The next candidate is Leslie Barkmeyer.
Hello, I'm Leslie Barkmeyer. I'm running for the LGBTQ position. We are living in an environment of bias, and as a member of the LGBT community, I'm acutely aware of this. I think one way that we can ensure that people feel comfortable on this campus is by cultivating different cultural traditions, say in residence hall programs and dining hall programs, things that really affect people's lives. However, I do agree that we shouldn't isolate ourselves, and I think this can be done through coalition building of the LGBT community along with minority groups like KUSLAR. Further, I think that it's important that every group has a voice on the SA, especially the LGBT community. Thank you.
The next candidate to speak on this topic is Nerese Martin.
I feel like diversity is very important in the Cornell community. As a student here, I personally have gotten involved in diversity. An organization I'm the publicity chair of, CU Image, is dedicated to promoting diversity here at Cornell. This past winter break, I went back to my old high school and area high schools to promote diversity, not only ethnic diversity, but people from West Coast schools coming to Cornell and enriching the community here. Diversity is very important, and if I'm elected, I will increase diversity the best way I can. Thank you.
Thank you. The next candidate is Sari Rubin.
Hi, my name is Sari Rubin, and I'm running for the human ecology seat. I want to say that coming from Brooklyn, New York, one of the things that basically drew me to this campus was the diversity. And actually, one of my closest friends when I got here, her name is Hedwig Lee. And what I learned was from her that her experience with a faculty advisor on the admission process, she happens to be an African American, almost told her that the only way that she was going to get in here was through affirmative action, and her hopes shouldn't be up. And I think that this is really sad. And I think that as the SA, we should be more involved in looking at who's screening the students. And I'm also on the executive board of Red Carpet Society, and I think that we should all start hosting and encouraging minority people to come to our school.
The next candidate is Dan Dimmenberg.
When you think about diversity on this campus, you shouldn't be thinking about a melting pot sort of version. Maybe more of a mosaic of everybody being different in their own way and coming together to form something bigger. The way to preserve this mosaic is to integrate diversity training during orientation. I sat with Mike in a group in a community forum, and we talked about this, and we decided that it would be best if different program houses, different diverse groups would run programs during orientation. Rather than the freshmen trekking down to college town, they could go to different programs. The way not to solve the diversity question is you don't start a colorblind admissions program. First of all, the question on the application is optional as it is right now. If you don't want your race to be considered, don't answer the question. Keep the question on, help the admissions officer create diversity on this campus, and keep Cornell what it is today.
This is, if you just tuned in, the Student Assembly University Assembly Candidates Forum. The question we're currently asking our candidates is, everyone at Cornell agrees that diversity is an important goal to achieve, yet no one has suggested a way to achieve it. What do you think is something we could do as an assembly, or you could do as a candidate, to further our quest for a diverse Cornell? The next candidate to speak on this topic is Nina Wan.
Hi, I'm Nina. I'm going for the undoes seat. Okay, we're all talking about diversity right now, and we all know it's the issue. Okay, but I don't hear any concrete ideas. What can we do now to promote diversity and to get rid of all this separation and segregation. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm in the military ROTC program here, and we have military briefs when there's an issue that everyone feels strong about. Like we have homosexuality briefs, and we just had one this weekend. Why can't we have not a military brief, but why can't we have a diversity brief in the dorms? We could do that to bring up the issue so that everyone is aware and so that everyone knows that there is an issue and that it is diversity, so that everyone could get involved. Because right now, we're all talking about it, but who else is really talking about it? Okay, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Thank you. The next candidate is Uzo Asonye.
Hi, my name is Uzo, and I'm running for the undesignated at-large position. A lot of people who've come up here haven't talked about specific methods of how they're going to approach diversity on this campus. For the last year on the University Assembly, we've tackled with the issue of the Open Hearts, Open Minds, Open Doors resolution. It's a document that's endorsed by Cornell that tells minorities and as well as underrepresented peoples that they're welcome at Cornell. They're fused, and we're going to, in recruitment, we're going to try to bring them here. I think that's one way, is through resolutions on the essay that we would further diversity efforts. Another way is to bring program houses and other houses like program houses to bring, I guess, extension programs for community members who do not live there to have more access to their programs, where they don't have to pay for, I guess they wouldn't pay the residential fee, but they would be living there, and they could participate in such programs. I think if the larger community had more access towards these houses, that they could.
Okay. The next candidate is Dan Orcutt.
Hi, my name is Dan Orcutt, and I'm running for the Student Assembly Arts and Sciences seat. For the past first semester, I have been to just about every single Student Assembly meeting, and I've watched the Student Assembly try to grapple with the issue of diversity, and they've attempted a number of things. I co-signed 2 resolutions that are pro-diversity, but this isn't enough. In addition to holding forums and formal discussions, we have to work on an individual level. Just going, whenever someone says something that I think that occurs to me as racist or homophobic, I take it upon myself to have a discussion with the person, and I believe that diversity spreads on an individual level. However, from an institutional level, we can do things too. One of the things during orientation week, a concrete thing that we can do is perhaps holding an activity at Iguego or at Ujima that's fun and will draw people in and hopefully banish this wrong idea of Ujima and Iguego being segregationist houses and exposing people to the beauty that is diversity at Cornell. Thank you.
The next candidate is Adam Romero.
Hi, my name is Adam Romero, and I'm running for the minority seat. To create more diversity on campus, we need to end oppression on campus. And oppression stems from miseducation or lack of education. And oppression stops people from, celebrating their uniquenesses. And so I think to start educating people through greater diversity celebrations would be a great way to start more diversity on campus. I think that we need to create unity and diversity, and so please vote for me, Adam Romero.
The next candidate is Tom Mendez.
Hi, my name is Tom Mendez, and I'm running for the Minority Liaison at Large seat. Cornell University has prided itself on having one of the most diverse campuses amongst its peer institutions. I believe in order to increase diversity, each and every one of us sitting here today has to go to the multitude of organizations that we have on this campus, sit in on and listen on what they're talking about, and express it to our friends and our peers. Cornell University also needs to increase diversity by keeping the optional box on ethnic and racial, so that we can all, so that our admissions staff can have an easier time increasing diversity, thus helping those organizations maintain diversity and not fall.
Thank you. Okay, we only have a few minutes left before we move to the next question. but the next candidate is Rachel Jacobs.
Hi. What I find is ironic about Cornell is that we stress diversity probably more than any school in the country and out of any Ivy League. Diversity is our motto, but the problem with Cornell is that we don't educate enough about diversity. We don't have any diversity training. I do believe that freshmen should definitely have to have some sort of workshop so they could teach about diversity. The problem here is that people come into this melting pot of 1,000 cultures and they get major culture shock. I know that's what happened to me. And they see all these different cultures and they just don't know how to handle it. And that's where the discrimination is and that's where the bias. So the way to make the solution would be to have more teaching. Like ILR has a mandatory culture class. That's great. I got to learn about the African American culture because I took a class. I would have never known half the stuff if I hadn't. I think there should be more diversity. I think there should be more teaching. I think there should be more freshman teaching, and I specifically think there should be some sort of diversity day where more people can come out and show us more about what they learn in their groups. Thank you.
Thank you. The next candidate is Amy Gerhard.
I'm Amy Gerhard, and I'm running for University Assembly. When I came to Cornell, I realized that I was in a hall with a bunch of people that were all the same but completely different from me. In my lifetime, I lived in a community that had almost no Jewish people in it at all, and my hall is predominantly Jewish. And I find that from living with them, I have learned a lot about them. I feel that we should increase the diversity in the residence halls because that's where we are a lot of the time when we experience things with other people. And I think that if we increase the amount of diversity in our halls, that we will learn a lot about different cultures. That's all I have to say. Bye.
We only unfortunately have time for 3 more speakers on this question. However, if you did wish to speak, you will have first crack to speak at the next question. The next candidate to talk on the issue of diversity is Gina Kwan.
Hi, my name is Gina Kwan, and I'm running for University Assembly. I think that in increasing diversity, the first step begins with the admitted freshman class. You have to show the class that they're welcome at Cornell, that Cornell puts out the broad views of diversity, supports it in every way. To do this, you have to put out the view that Cornell does not accept any forms of bias or discrimination at all. And I don't know, I think that this is important because of the bias-related incidents that have been reported. I haven't heard that much publicity on them, and I think maybe increasing publicity and showing that Cornell does not accept these biases at all is important to increasing diversity. Thank you.
Okay, the next speaker is Frankie Lind.
Hi, my name's Frankie. I'm running for the Human Ecology seat. I think one important issue to recognize, one issue of diversity on campus is our students being segregated. Segregation is forced. It's important to recognize why different groups are separating themselves on our campus. And I think that's indicative of a larger problem at Cornell that we really need to investigate as student assembly members. Thank you.
The final speaker who will speak on this question regarding diversity is Johan Chow.
Hi, I'm Johan Chow, and I'm running for the Human Ecology seat. I'm blessed to have come from one of the most diverse places in the United States, Hawaii. There are people of many different backgrounds and many cultures who are there, and they get along together really well. And I suggest that each one of you visit this place one day, because I miss it a lot. I believe that the bias-related incidents and everything else that happens on this campus is a result of ignorance. In Hawaii, we celebrate holidays and traditions of every single culture that lives there. We have the Chinese New Year, we celebrate it, the city endorses it. They block out streets to have dragon dances and fireworks. We celebrate July 4th, we celebrate the New Year, we celebrate almost anything that you can ever imagine. And I think Cornell should be able to have a program or a cultural awareness initiative to help people learn and relate to other cultures that they do not know. I think that once they know about all the other cultures, they would be more comfortable with it and know the people inside out. That is what will stop the bias-related incidents. Thank you.
That will conclude the discussion on diversity for tonight's candidates forum. The second question, and once again we'll entertain a speakers list. Those who unfortunately couldn't speak on the last topic will have the first opportunity to speak on this topic. Let me once again read the question twice. The issue is campus apathy, and the question is, campus apathy has plagued the assemblies for years. If you are elected, how would you try to generate greater participation and outreach in assembly affairs? Let me repeat the question. Campus apathy has plagued the student and university assemblies for years. If you are elected, how would you try to generate greater participation and outreach in assembly affairs? The first speaker is Michael Giannis, and I will start a speakers list now. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm running for the Ag seat. Basically, I would do absolutely nothing because if people don't care, they don't care. Why do we have to take issues and cram them down their throats? 90% of the students that are here just want to do academics and they just want to progress on to better things. So, why not? To each his own. Thank you.
The next candidate is Scott Beamer.
I think that student apathy is a big problem here, as it is around the country, not just with students, but with all people. On the national scene, voter turnout is basically at all-time lows. And I think that one thing that we can do to increase involvement of students on this campus is for the assemblies to directly go to the people that the students look up to the RAs, to the leaders of the fraternities, to the professors. Get them to spread the word on the things that we're doing in the assemblies and inform them about the issues. I think email is a vital tool that we can use today, but even more important is just word of mouth, spreading the word by talking to people. We need to take a more active approach to this because it's important that everybody say what's on their mind. It's important that everybody have a voice. Thank you.
The next candidate to speak is Garrett Lang.
My name is Garrett Lang. I'm running for the arts seat. I guess as far as student apathy goes, I guess we all understand that people at Cornell have a lot of academic responsibilities. I think, honestly, the best thing that SA can do in order to get people involved is to choose topics that interest students. If we choose things that interest students, they will get involved. And I truly believe that, and I'd like to make that happen. Thanks.
The next candidate is Brian Kuzma.
I think that no one has decreased student apathy more than myself this year on campus. And I think we're going to see a high voter turnout. But I have some solutions long-term to solve this problem. And that's decreasing the number of members on the student assembly so people feel that they have to understand the candidates and each candidate actually matters. We only, sort of like with the presidential elections, people come out for the elections that matter. With 23 people on the assembly, that's too many. We need to decrease that number, including the LGBTQ seat. Thank you.
The next candidate to speak is Rachel Jacobs.
Hi. You may think that students are apathetic, but I will give you a prime example in which they weren't. When I was on the University Assembly my freshman year, I had sent out an email to every single sophomore, and it mistakenly came out of my email account, which was supposed to come out of the Student Assembly's account. I came back that day, I had 124 emails. That one day. The next day, I had 110 emails. I had over 400 emails from students all asking me the question. It's not the apathy, it's a matter of them getting the information. I think that's what we need to work on. If they were so apathetic, why would they bother asking me all these questions? 300 emails. I mean, I think that's a lot. So that's what I think we need to do.
The next candidate is Zach Conine.
I think that the most important part in getting rid of apathy is to let people know what's going on. We need some sort of either newspaper insert, in the Sun, in the Review, in every paper. It shouldn't matter where we're coming from. If we can get the issues out, then we can figure out which side is right, wrong, doesn't matter. I think that if you really want to see a group of people who are, for the most part, all concerned with what's going on around them, you should look in the hotel school. I mean, there isn't, like, everyone in the hotel school is excited about something. Whether or not they should be excited about it or not, just kind of iffy. But vote Zach. Thanks.
The next candidate is Sari Rubin.
Hi, my name is Sari Rubin. I'm running for the human ecology seat. I think, honestly, the real problem is with campaigning and the way that the SA might handle the situation. I believe that, in a way, this 2 weeks, or this week, actually, that we were given, we're trying to introduce ourselves to the people as fast as we can, but there's not as much action after their campaign. I don't see, like, as many people going to the doors, actually going and finding out what people want. There's not sessions. They don't go into class. It's basically only this week that you hear people, like, saying stuff inside your lecture. This is the only week that I really went out and met people. I think it has to be, like, a year-long campaign, and you have to introduce yourself and make yourself available for people to talk to you to make them less apathetic.
The next candidate is Ryan Horn.
Hi, my name is Ryan Horn. I'm running for the University Assembly seat. And I think student apathy is a very important problem that needs to be addressed here at Cornell. And I think one of the best ways we can do it is found in probably one of the ways we've been seeing as we campaign. When we knock on people's doors and we say, hi, my name is so-and-so, I'm running for student assembly, that people are actually interested. They want to actually vote for you. They want to get involved. When Josh called up and said all the undesignated people come up here, I thought it was cattle call. There were so many people coming up because people are interested. Let's knock on these people's doors more often, not just during this week. As incumbents, let's knock on their doors more often, see what these people are interested in. Over the summer and even during the year, I worked very closely with the president of a union out where I live in a very small town. And what he did was, in order to build up motivation and kill apathy, he sent out a survey to the people. This is kind of paralleling what Rachel said. He sent the survey around and see what people wanted, see what they were interested in. Then maybe from there we can draft better campaigns, better agendas, better platforms, and maybe work with the student interest and see what they're really looking for, and then maybe they'll turn up for some more meetings and they'll high voter turnout.
Thank you, Ryan. The next candidate is Matt Banner.
Hi, Matthew Banner of the University Assembly, and I have 2 points on this question. The first one is that the antidote to student apathy is information, as everybody said. Last year we did a program, Student Assembly, University Assembly. We went out into the dorms, and unfortunately we only did this once. I thought it was a huge success. For the people I spoke with, everybody was really interested. And the second thing is this thing that I dub kind of a vicious cycle, which is that if we have low student turnout in the votes, the administration doesn't take us seriously. So the more people we have getting out voting, if we can show that we have all of the student body behind us, we get taken more seriously and we can do more for you. So I urge you to get out there and vote, especially for me, but voting is good. So please get out there and show that you care. Thank you.
Thank you. For those of you just tuning in, this is the Student Assembly and University Assembly Candidates Forum. The question we're currently discussing is campus apathy has plagued both the University Assembly and the Student Assembly for years. If you are elected, how would you try to generate greater participation and outreach in Assembly affairs? The next person to speak is Mark Weisenborn.
Mark Weisenborn, ILRC. Students need to be informed about what the SA can do. As Matt said, we can prioritize what we want done to the administration by showing a sign of force through the assembly. Acting in the interest of politics has made many people feel apathetic toward the student assembly. I believe the assembly has the power, has the means to bring us things like online ad drop. Students who I've spoken with want that. And my first day on the assembly, I would introduce a resolution for that, because as a student and not as a political insider, I want it, because I don't like walking across campus. Okay.
The next candidate is Nerese Martin.
University Martin, running for the Minority Liaison at Large seat. As once an apathetic student, my freshman year, I really disliked Cornell. As I saw my different friends getting involved, having fun in campus organization, my attitude towards Cornell and being involved in organizations changed also. This year, I have dramatically increased my involvement in campus organizations and has enhanced my Cornell experience twofold. I urge people here and everyone who's watching this to change their attitude toward campus involvement. If we're aware of what's going on through listservs and other word-of-mouth means, then things will change and people will not be apathetic and more involvement would happen here at Cornell. Thank you.
The next candidate is Tom Mendez.
Hi, my name is Tom Mendez, running for Minority Liaison at Large. Apathy is a major problem in this school. In order to decrease apathy, we can keep on sending multitude of emails and keep flyering and whatever, the same that we've been doing. But in order to really decrease it, we need to, each and every one of us, get out there, bring a few friends over, and spread the word out about what there is in this campus and what we have to offer. I've seen over the past week that each and every one of us here are very capable of doing that. Each and every one of us here are capable of knocking on doors, handing out flyers, chalkings, and the like. I believe that it is our responsibility to decrease student apathy on this Cornell campus.
The next candidate is James Edward Lamb Jr.
Good evening. In all honesty, I will tell you straight, what we need to do at Cornell is basically get you involved. I'm going to be out there talking to you this weekend. One of you is going to see me right now watching this in the RPC. I'm going to walk up to you and say, hi, my name is James Lamb Jr. This is what's going on. I'm not going to tell you about what we could be doing. I'll tell you exactly what I am doing. Right now there's a resolution coming forth to the Student Assembly talking about bringing up an essay newsletter so you'll understand exactly what's going on and when it's happening. I've seen some ill stuff happen with the Student Assembly this past semester, and it will not happen again as you see me there. Basically, I will talk to you. We need to talk together. R17 is all about diversity forums so that you'll know what's going on. Point blank, Cornell, I'll tell you all straight. If you give a damn, you'll vote James Lamb.
Point blank, the next candidate is Dan Orcutt.
Wow, now that's a hard act to follow there. Yeah. My name is Dan Orcutt, and I think I know a little something about student apathy. The entire first semester, right up until this very Thursday, I've been going to just about every student assembly meeting and sitting out there in the community section because I wasn't on it yet. And let me tell you, it was lonely out there. In fact, the only time that anyone came in was when they were being attacked. The Women's Resource Center came in by the hundreds almost when their funding was starting to be cut. It happened again and again and again. There's been a tremendous interest in the LGBTQ seat this time when Brian Kuzma has decided to run. It's just very interesting to me. But I don't think that publicity and curing apathy has to come from negative sources at all. One of the most enlightening things to me about my experience with the Student Assembly has been that every time I've come back to the Eco House where I live, people have all been very tremendously interested in what's been going on in the Student Assembly. They always want to know what's been going on with their various figures and what the Appropriations Committee has been up to and what's happening with the pet policy. And that if each one of us on the Student Assembly or in the audience of the Student Assembly takes back what we've seen and what we've learned and tells it to the people that we know in a funny and interesting fashion, then people will care and that the word will spread slowly. So each one of us has to be representatives and delegates from the Student Assembly in more than just one way. Thank you.
The next candidate is Nina Wong.
Okay, I asked my friends why they didn't care, and they told me it was because they perceived the SA and the UA as elitist organizations, and if we don't care about them, why should they care, right? So we need to break down that perception. We need to actually go out to the masses. I'm thinking if all the SA people go out to at least 10 people and get their opinions and bring them back, then that's representation, at least a bigger amount than what's going on right now. Another issue is, I think in the newspapers, I think we should put like a little sneak preview of what's going to come up in the next meetings. It'll be like a little teaser. It's like, come out, find more about this issue. If you have any questions, if you have any voice, if you want to voice your opinion, you could come out and talk about it. That's my opinion.
The next candidate is Uzo Asonye.
What the SA needs to do is communicate issues that matter to students. We need to start talking about funding for student groups, diversity and safety on campus. We need to talk about busing, free busing for students. We need to talk about meal plans at work. And then once we do start talking about those issues, we need to start communicating to students how we're going to solve those issues and take their input and to try to make those things a reality. Another issue talking about student apathy is our representatives need to be held accountable for their votes. A number of the students here voted to slash funding for many organizations. Students need to go on assembly.cornell.edu and check how your representative voted, because I know a lot of these representatives are not representing you. So on that day, vote Uzo Asonye. You know what I'm going to do for you.
Okay, this is the SAUA Candidates Forum. The question at hand is, campus apathy has plagued the Assembly for years. If you're elected, how would you try to generate greater participation and outreach in Assembly affairs? And the next candidate is Lee Rudofsky.
I reject the notion that students at Cornell are apathetic. I also reject the notion that people don't have enough information to get involved. People get involved when we deal with issues that they care about, and only when we deal with issues that they care about. When Johan and I dealt with meal plan issues this entire year, we had between 100 and 200 people emailing us almost weekly. The way the Student Assembly knows that they're doing their job is if they are attacking issues that people are coming to meetings to speak about, to debate about, and to argue about. When we deal with topics that people are interested in on either side of the political spectrum, or just as a student, people will come and people will debate. When we deal with issues that either we have no control over or the student body doesn't care about, nobody comes and everybody thinks the Student Assembly looks foolish. We must deal with things that affect the entire student body.
The next candidate is Johan Chow.
Hi, I'm Johan Chow. I'm running for the human ecology seat. Student apathy is definitely a big problem here in Cornell. I believe that in order to decrease student apathy in this campus, we have to create a vehicle that will help students voice their opinions to the administration and to the SA. My experiences with petitioning to get cash out back has taught me that this vehicle, what this vehicle is all about. This vehicle is about going out to the students, knocking on their doors one by one, and asking them what they care about. At that time, Cornell Dining, last year, Cornell Dining tried to take cash up away from us all, and I thought that that was wrong. So I took the initiative and went out and knocked from door to door, collecting signatures and educating the students. Some of them didn't even know. Educating the students what the administration was trying to do. And when they found out, they were no longer apathetic. They understood, they knew the information, and they got involved. I collect 1,000 signatures in 3 days. What does this all tell us? This all tells us that we as SA members must go out to the community and deal with issues that they care about, not the issues that we care about or the bipartisan issues that we have dealt with this semester alone. Thank you.
Thank you. The next candidate is Gershon Leventhal.
Hi, I'm Gersh. Once again, I'm running for minority seat. And like Johan was talking about a vehicle, and I think this kind of like my last speech kind of led up to this. I think the program houses are an excellent vehicle for just decreasing apathy on campus. My best year in high school, my favorite year, was my senior year because I got involved in so much stuff. When I applied to Cornell, I immediately applied to a place like the International Living Center, a program house where I knew that I was going to be with involved students. And I think that the SA and the UA, when they're looking to get kids involved, they need to turn to the program houses to get them to do programs at the other res halls on campus. Because I think that's the best way to reach out to all the students on campus. If we get the ones who we know are involved to work with the ones who we know aren't, I think we're going to end up with a much better situation. Just remember, if you want to see students who are involved, you can go to the ISPB's International Festival in April. You can see how we get diversity and we get decrease of apathy. And it's just a wonderful situation. Thanks.
Thank you. Next up is Frankie Lind.
Hi, my name is Frankie. I'm running for the Human Ecology seat. I think a lot of the other candidates that are running are really correct, that we really need to find out what students want us to work on and let students know what we are working on so that they know when something concerns them, if they want to come participate. Former Representative Yuri Pollock did an excellent job, I think, of keeping students posted, meeting with us, sending us emails. That's something I'd really like to continue as a human ecology representative. Thanks.
The next candidate is Amy Gerhardt.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm running for University Assembly. And all I have to say is that you guys all have voices, and we have voices. But when we get elected, our voice doesn't matter anymore. It's your voice that matters. So I think that everybody is right. When we get elected, we need to come to you, and we need to find out what you want us to do, because you're not the ones in office, but we're here to represent you. So just to reiterate what everybody else says, I think we should all come out to you and do what you want us to do.
Leslie Berkmeyer.
I believe that apathy is a result of the fact that many people feel that the SA is some isolated organization, some governing body that really doesn't affect them. However, we can reverse this by having the liaisons actually go out into their communities, visit with their constituencies, go knocking on door to door and speaking with all those people. It's absolutely vital that we know who we represent. That's why we must maintain the liaison seats. Because if people know they have a voice, they'll care.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Next candidate is Jamie Hanlon.
Hi, I'm Jamie Hanlon, running for the undesignated seat. I think the best way to get rid of student apathy is to start when students first get here, the first week of freshman year. Have student assembly members go around to the different dorms and knock on the different doors, telling them what's going on. And after the elections come and go and committees are formed, you have to continue going around to the dorms, telling students what's going on, as everyone has said. And also, as everyone has said, have issues that attract interest to students. And continue. And push for more membership on committees and separate committees that deal with the different issues. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to have 3 more speakers on this issue, and then unfortunately we must move on. The next candidate is Dan Dimmenberg.
There's one very simple way to get student apathy down on this campus and raise student activism. Same reason I got involved. If half the students knew the shenanigans that went on in student assembly last semester when certain members of the assembly tried to cut the student activities fee by 50 cents to raise Cornell cinema prices by $1, which has to be one of the most ridiculous moves ever made. If half the students knew that, you'd have to hold this forum in Bailey Hall.
The next speaker is Lisa Edelman.
I have found that when you ask students at point blank what their opinion is on a certain topic, they're more than happy to express to you exactly what they're feeling. And generally, they feel really adamantly about it, but they just don't know where to go. And as a representative, if I get elected, I would seek out people, get various opinions on different issues, and represent them the best I could. Thank you.
The final speaker on this issue is point blank Mike Brown.
Hi, I'm Point Blank Mike Brown, running for undesignated at large. I don't blame the Cornell student body for being apathetic. I blame the Cornell Student Assembly. If I'm a typical Cornell student who chances upon an SA meeting, what do I see? I don't see people representing. I see people bickering worse than my 85-year-old Italian grandmothers. Now, what are they bickering about? They're bickering about liberal issues pitted against conservative issues. We need to stop making the Student Assembly a platform for left and right and start making it a platform for students at Cornell about your worries, about your cares, about your joys and sorrows. Now, I'm very proud to be Italian, but Mike Brown has a message for the Student Assembly. Stop acting like Italian grandmothers and start representing the people that put you there. Thanks very much.
Thank you. When I was a candidate last year for University Assembly, one of the things that I wished would happen during the candidates forum is that each candidate within a given race would be given a question pertaining to that race. So this way, you as the viewer could basically decide which candidate agrees with you the most. We've decided to do that this year and implement it into the program. So I'm going to ask first for the hotel candidates to come up for a hotel-based question. The hotel-based question. The hotel-based question, and you'll each have 30 seconds or so to answer this, is that this year Statler has seen an increase in commercialism. All of a sudden, Terrace and Max are slowly being replaced by things like Starbucks and Kinko's. How does that affect the environment at the Statler Hotel, and is it doing good things for the school or bad things? Lisa, you can go first.
My experience has been with the commercial establishments in Statler this year. Most of my friends and the people that I know in the hotel school have enjoyed it. They sit there in class every morning with their Starbucks coffee, and they like that. It's a feeling of the brand name that they know from home and that they can enjoy here. And from what I've seen, it's been positive.
Hi, I'm Zach. I believe that the branding and that things like Starbucks coffee are good, but I don't see why we have Starbucks coffee and a lot of other places on campus don't have Starbucks coffee. I think if we're going to have it, we should be just like the rest of the campus because hoteliers are Cornellians. We don't want to set ourselves apart by having a different brand of coffee. I also believe that places like Max and the Terrace, that this kind of commercialism is keeping them from being the kind of dining hall that they should be. This is a dining hall that should be available on meal plan. I mean, I eat at Max 5 days a week, and it rips up my budget. It's ridiculous. But if you could put it on meal plan, even with these branded coffees and whatnot, it would be a good thing for both hoteliers and the whole student body. Thank you.
Will the engineering candidates please come up? Okay. This question was actually created by your current SA representative, Mike Hansen, who's also the Vice President of Finance. He thinks that a question that would interest a lot of engineers is, what do you think is the best way to Fort Dragon Day and beat the architects?
Well, I'm as a big supporter of anything as beating the architects, as I'm a member of the Phoenix Society. But what can we really do? I mean, the architects are always going to build their dragon, and we can't really stop them from it. What we can do is stop the architects from trashing our engineering quad, and the ridiculous graffiti that is all over campus needs to stop. Thank you.
Okay. I'm a freshman, and my opponent here is too. He's also my roommate, by the way. So I haven't actually experienced Dragon Day myself. From what I hear, it's a lot of fun for every person involved, both architect and engineer. So I think there are a lot of people talking about how there are dangers involved with flower bombs and things such as that I've heard about. But from what I hear, it's harmless and just a lot of fun, and I would vote to keep that protected. It's, anything that's fun for us is good.
Will the candidates running for the ILR seat please come up? As many people have already heard, there are crazy things going on throughout the country regarding clothes and sweatshops. I was wondering what you could talk about your position on Cornell clothes in regards to the sweatshops. What should activists do, and how do you feel about the current COLA protests?
I would support COLA and their attempt to get full disclosure of the working conditions under which Cornell clothing's made. I think it makes sense that students should have a choice to buy clothing that's made under more humane conditions according to their values. And the group of COLA has made strides in working with Cornell administration to prevent major upheavals such as we had at University of Pennsylvania. So I'd be in favor of Cornell licensing having the ability to see what the working conditions are. I spent some time in Costa Rica and Ghana, and there's a lot of disparity in the westernized factories versus those that are, well, used to create a lot of our clothing, unfortunately. And I think it makes sense, and I'd support that.
Okay. It is obvious that sweatshops are horrible, and I feel that Cornell should not support sweatshops. If we should not buy products from sweatshops, because coming from ILR, if we buy products from sweatshops, then we are supporting sweatshops, and I don't think we should be doing that. That's my stand.
Thank you. Will the human ecology candidates please come up? The question I have for human ecology, being a human ecology student myself, is that in the School of Human Ecology, there are many different majors, all of which have very different interests in what you want to do in terms of career, extracurricular activities, etc. If elected to be the human ecology representative, how would you like to bridge the gap between different groups of different interests?
I see some of the questions for the seats are more sort of fun than others, but one thing I really love about human ecology is we have a whole ton of majors, a whole bunch of diversity, and yet it's a very small school. I have friends that are majoring in TXA, DEA, I'm majoring in DEA, PAM, HD, nutrition, it's wonderful. I feel like that there's a lot of ways that the community is strong by being so diverse and yet so small. We eat lunch in Martha's, it's wonderful. We hang out in the computer lab, it's great. I think that I've gotten a lot of ideas from former Representative Yuri Pollock, hoping to work on some things that involve bringing the community closer together, but I'm very happy with the way that Martha Van and human ecology work right now.
When I was a freshman in human ecology, I was part of this freshman thing that meets every week. I forgot what it was called. But during my experience with it, I met a lot of people from many different majors, PAM, DEA, TXA. And the program was run under the Association for the Students of Color. And I think that it's a great program to have for the entire college because it gives you a chance to meet people from other majors. During your first year in human ecology, you are faced with core requirements and you're stuck with people who are within your major. I think that this gives you the opportunity to meet other people and bridge the gap and help human ecology become more united. Thank you.
I'm going to have to agree with Frankie. Yes, we do have a lot of majors within human ecology, but I feel like in a way we're a very tight-knit community. But a few things that I think we could do in order to make us feel more connected is one of the things now that they're trying to institute with Dean Brennan is a lot of dean's lunches. And actually for the three of us, I've been talking to the deans and trying to have a candidate's lunch, which it's almost through, so we're going to be having that hopefully. And another thing that we could be doing is I'm also in traditional scholars and like everybody's not aware, but like there's so much volunteering and everybody can get involved. And I think that if we make it, if like the representative goes out and like shows that we can go to on-site, we can do things as a college, and maybe then as a college we can be represented. We could show like blood drives. It's like traditional scholars, we saved this many lives this time. We could do it as this human ecology was able to save this many lives. Look how many volunteers we got. We were able to go into the community, do something. Our college is human ecology. We should be more into the people. And I think volunteering, setting up organizations, and having lunches where the representative is actually going in and finding out what you want. And everybody always likes free things, so two things in one.
Will the candidates for LGBTQ please come up? In today's Cornell Daily Sun, it refers to the LGBTQ community as the most hidden, underrepresented community on this campus. If you're elected, what is the best way you feel that you could represent the LGBTQ community?
All right, well, I met a supposed supporter the other day, and he told me to come up here and say, call me old-fashioned, but I prefer a vagina. I'm not going to say that. But I think he has a valid point in that the source of the bias that is on campus is caused by the university itself, by discriminating on sexual orientation. I think that if we get rid of this discrimination by the university, then we will see a decrease in the bias and just give the students a chance to prove themselves to you.
I do agree with Cruz that we need to eliminate discrimination. I've seen discrimination. As a member of the LGBTQ community, I've seen it in my friends. I've seen my friends harassed. I've seen myself face bias. So what do? Well, I've turned to the community. I've asked the people that have actually faced the oppression, the people that have actually been discriminated against. One, they form groups like DASH, Direct Action to Stop Homophobia, a group that I am now a proud member of. They also speak with other groups on campus, progressive groups, which I proudly am a member of as well. But the most important thing that I've heard throughout this campaign from the community that's being discriminated against is that they need a voice. They need a seat, a protected seat on the student assembly. I stand for that. I stand for allowing them to have their concerns heard. They need a voice. We need to help them. We need to give them that voice.
Thank you. Will the minority seat candidates please come up? In the interest of time, I'm just going to start the question now. As you know, at today's Student Assembly meeting, issues revolving around colorblind admissions were brought up. What do you feel is the best way you could protect the interests of the minority communities if you're elected to the Student Assembly?
Okay, I guess I can take this. Minority interests are really important because if we didn't have minorities on a campus, we wouldn't have the diversity that we've all talked about how much we want. So in order to protect it, you do need the question about race. And like everyone has pointed out, it is an optional question. And if someone does not want to fill it out, they don't have to. There is no requirement to fill it out. If you do fill it out, however, it entitles you to a certain number of benefits, like affirmative action. And the resolution that James has been talking about is one that I wholeheartedly support, because what it does is it helps out those people who might not otherwise have a chance to come to Cornell. I'm not going to speak about it because I'm sure James will speak about it on his turn, but or when he speaks for his seat. But basically, I think the minorities here are crucial to Cornell, because if we didn't have the minorities, we wouldn't have a Cornell that we'd want to live at.
Hi, my name is Amy Gershkopf. I'm running for the Minority Liaison at Large seat. If we want a diverse Cornell community, we have to go out and recruit a diverse Cornell community. We don't get a diverse Cornell community by recruiting in wealthy suburbs in Long Island. We get a diverse Cornell community by going all over the country, to the inner cities, to the rural areas, to the West Coast, to the South, to the Northeast, to everywhere, and making sure that a diverse group of students apply to Cornell. The diversity process starts with the applicant pool, and if we don't have a diverse applicant pool, we'll never have a diverse Cornell. The recruitment process has not been revisited by the university in a number of years. I think it is time that we look again at the recruitment process and see where our recruiters are going and where we're encouraging people to apply from. Thank you.
Marissa Martin, Minority Liaison at Large. I do not support the initiative to erase the ethnicity box from the applications. Diversity here at Cornell is very important. As I walk around and see different races, different colors, it's pleasing to me. I learn more about Asian Americans, Jewish Americans, Hispanic Americans, and every other type of American that we have here. It is very important for us to keep a diverse community here at Cornell. As we learn more, as we grow up and go into the workplace, we need to be more open-minded, and remember that America is a diverse country. So should Cornell. Thank you.
Tom Mendez, Minority Liaison. Diversity is intricate to Cornell. The application process, and I'm in full favor of affirmative action. I'm in full favor of. In order to increase diversity, it starts with the recruiters. And sadly to say, a lot of minority organizations on this campus are suffering because they lack the membership. In order to increase the membership, we need to bring in minority students, the qualified minority students, not the stereotype that goes around that most minorities are not qualified or whatnot. In order to increase diversity on this campus, it starts with recruitment once again, and in order to keep diversity, we need to recruit more diverse people.
My name is Adam Romero, and I'm running for the minority seat. We need to protect affirmative action because we need to protect diversity at our school. I ask people who are anti-affirmative action why, you want equal opportunity, and I agree with equal opportunity, but why are you targeting race? Why not target Cornell legacy? That is an institutionally racist policy that we have at this school, because who historically has come to Cornell? White people. So it is, doing the same thing that affirmative action does for minority students. So I say stop being hypocrites and target all policies that you feel are, creating non-equal opportunities. So stop, let's protect affirmative action right now because there is not equal opportunity for every, all minorities and all people at this school. And let's create unity and diversity, and let's celebrate our uniquenesses, and, let's be a great institution. So Adam Romero for minority seat.
Thank you. Arts and Sciences will be next. The Arts and Sciences question for this year is, Arts and Sciences is a big school, thousands of people. How do you bridge the gap and make it a close, tight-knit community?
Hi, my name is Dan Orcutt, and I'm obviously running for the Arts and Sciences seat. There are a number of things about the Arts and Sciences School that both make it very promising and a really great place to study, and also present challenges that need to be bridged. For one thing, if you take a look at the course book, and you take a look at it, it's pretty thick, and they have the little markings on the side that say what courses are for what. There's a little bit for a number of different schools, very quality courses, and then you get to the Arts and Sciences section. It's this big black mark on the side. And this is, to be quite honest, quite bewildering. A lot of the times I'm trying to decide what I need to do for my schedule, try to meet all the distribution requirements and the history, geographical requirement and the temporal requirement and all that other stuff. And it's rather difficult. And one of the things I'd really love to have is a quality academic advising program. Unfortunately, I don't think that we have quite achieved this goal yet. And I've been working with a number of different people to try to make that happen. We need to improve academic advising at Cornell by bringing the students who've attended the courses as well as the teachers. So thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Garrett Lang, and of course I'm running for arts. As far as trying to bridge the diverse groups of people that are in arts and sciences, I think that is a big challenge, and I'd be definitely open to people's suggestions on how to do that. I think we should really have programs that would include the arts school and use the mailing list, the arts mailing lists, to make people aware of all of the different programs that go on within each of the majors within arts. I know that with the diversity of groups or of different majors in the school, people would really learn a lot from going to seminars, etc., from other parts. I also agree with Dan that academic advising needs a lot of help, and I hope that you'll elect someone that will go ahead and move that forward, and Dan and I would both be people that would do that. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jessie King. I'm running for the arts seat. When I first came to Cornell, I thought it was a really big and very scary place. And as a sophomore this year, I've been very involved with the Arts and Sciences Student Advising Program, which is new this year, where all the freshmen now have an upperclassman advisor. And I think that that really helps make the Cornell community seem smaller, to have an older person who can help you along and teach you the ropes. as an assembly member, I think that going ahead and spending the whole year rather than just this week, knocking on doors and asking students what they think ought to be going on at Cornell would be a good way to help Cornell seem like a smaller place.
My name's Sam Merksimer. I'm a sophomore in the Arts and Science School. I think that part of the reason people come to the Arts and Sciences College at Cornell is because of there's such polar opposites of places you can study where between physics majors and English majors, and there are things that are completely unrelated. I think that it's important that we preserve all the I don't think we want to mesh them together too much by creating excessive requirements and taking too much of people's time up, taking classes and subjects which they don't want to explore. Any coming together of the school has to happen on sort of an extracurricular level instead of a curricular level, and that can be done through advising programs or social events and stuff like that would work much better than actually doing this through classwork.
Well, it's a tough question. The way I look at it is I think that if we examine this, diversity isn't just an arts issue. It's all the colleges. And so if we're bridging gaps, I think, actually, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to the first question on diversity because I think that I wanted to talk about it more than this one. So I think that, no, but honestly, I think I can integrate the two. I think that diversity is extremely important. I think to put these together, I think that we have to be encouraged to bring different people about. We have to bring people of different cultures, people of different academic interests together through programs. So I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about certain cultures. I think that the student assembly, and I for one would promote this, would promote people of different cultures, different interests to take programs, take seminars, take interests, and bring it together and bring other students to it. I think that would really help. Vote Mark Greenbaum.
Thank you. Thank you. Will the undesignated candidates, the international and ag candidates, please come up? The reason why I'm combining international and ag into it is because the seats are currently unopposed. Your question, unfortunately, because undesignated is such a broad-based race and you represent everyone, it's going to be a broad-based question. What do you think is the most important issue in this election? Please try and keep it to within the 30-second limit.
In my opinion, the most important issue of this election is that the risk and danger to affirmative action that is happening on this campus. There's actually people who were misled into signing a petition they thought would increase diversity, which in fact would eliminate affirmative action on this campus. The most important issue is saving affirmative action. Thank you.
Okay, and I believe that student apathy is one of the biggest issues on campus, and this campaign process did not help at all. Okay, from the beginning of the campaign, candidates were getting slaughtered. A lot of people are getting badmouthed. Everyone has a right to their opinion, sure, but we also have the rights as candidates to our dignity, and I think this whole campaign process is turning off all the students to the whole election and the whole essay and UA environment, or whatever you could call it. Because everyone sees, the whole public sees, all of us fighting and bickering and going at each other's throats. What is that showing the public? They don't want a piece of that. They don't want to be involved with a bunch of people on view for everyone to see, like the Jerry Springer show, because this is not the Jerry Springer show. And I think that's my issue.
The most important issue of this election is making Cornell an enjoyable place for all students to live in. Number one, that starts with assuring people that live in program houses that they're going to stay here and that they're welcome. Number two is the Greek system. There've been a lot of other Ivy League universities have started breaking down the sanctity of the Greek system. We need to uphold the Greek system. And other things that we need to do is make day-to-day livings in the dorms, I guess, enjoyable for students. Access, other issues that people have brought up have been, I guess, meal plans and online ad jobs. So the day-to-day livings of Cornellians and upholding the places where you live in the Greek system and the program houses are the most important issues of this election.
I think that the most important issue in this election is getting more people's ideas.
Like when I first established my campaign, I reached out to my friends and people I knew, and I found that they thought busing was important, that dining was important, that cutting gym fees, that cutting resident fees were all important. So improve dining, improve busing, but reach out to what everyone thinks is important. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess if you're going to cut down a tree, you don't start by picking off each leaf individually. You cut away at the roots first. That's why I think that human interaction is the most important issue in this campaign, because it gets to the roots of so many other problems we're facing at Cornell. It deals with the bickering and the infighting on the assembly, making them unresponsive to student needs. It deals to diversity, where people isolate themselves in communities and don't take the time to interact with one another and don't feel comfortable interacting with one another. It gets to the issue of bias, where people don't feel safe in this community because others are attacking them simply for who they are. And no one out there takes the time to say, we won't tolerate that, we're here to support you. Human interaction is the most important issue in this campaign because it touches everything else. So many times we as Cornellians walk with our heads down on our ivy-covered paths to go to our prelims, to go to our parties, to go to our little house parties, to go to our groups, our study clubs, and we don't take the time to think of the majesty and the breadth of this university. We have to interact with each Cornellian and treat them like a human being and take the time to understand them for who they are, not from their classification within schools and Greek houses, but as other human beings. Thank you very much.
The most important issue in this campaign by far is dealing with things on the Student Assembly that matter to students. This year on the Student Assembly, I'm chair of the dining committee, and one of the main issues that I've dealt with all year is the reforming of the meal plans. Dining came to us and asked meal plans to be reformed, and we went out and we got input from the students on how they'd like to see that reformed. Those are things that need to be going on, things that students are passionate about, things that students care about. They start with housing, they start with dining, and they start with campus activities. Other than that, after we get the student involved, we can deal with more issues with their input, but we need to do what students care about.
I'm DZ, and the most important issue by far is the apathy issue. People have to get out there. We have to get people interested. The Student Assembly can't be just some club out there. It has to be representative. People have to know what's going on. We have to get a listserv going. We have to get the information out there. We have to knock on those doors. We have to talk to people. We have to get people to come to the meetings, make them more lively, more exciting. That's what it's about.
The important issue here is also involve dining. Like, dining needs more options, right? Let them have beer. Or wine, if you're not a beer drinker, right? Beer, beer, beer.
I'm non-alcoholic. In all honesty, you, Cornell, you are what's most important about this election. In all honesty, we see a bunch of people here who are trying to work for you. And a lot of them, I know personally, are trying to work for themselves. In all honesty, you need an advocate. You need people that are out there working for you. My name is James Edward Lamb Jr., okay? I've been hurt by many factions on this campus. The right can't stand me and the left doesn't want me. But you know what? I will still work for you. You are all I've got. My name is James Edward Lamb Jr. I fight for students and student groups because that's who I care about and that's what I believe in. Vote James Lamb.
Thank you. We only have 4 or 5 minutes left in this program. The final group is the University Assembly. The question that I'm going to pose to you is currently the University Assembly is doing a lot of work on bridging the gap between students and professors in regards to religious observances and how we could have the greatest religious tolerance. Please give your input on the issue and discuss what you think both sides can compromise on to promote greater religious interests in terms of holidays.
Hi everybody, I'm Matthew Banner and I currently serve on the University Assembly, and I have the pleasure of working with Josh and everybody else on a religious observances bill. And the point of this bill is not to target any specific religion or single anybody out, but it's something that can benefit all students. Currently, New York State law is that if you have a religious absence, this is an excused absence, this is something students should be able to take off. But here at Cornell, we're all concerned about, well, making up a class or missing something that might be on the prelim. And I think we should be allowed to miss these classes, and as an excused absence, we should be allowed to miss it guilt-free. And I've been fighting for you for this year, and I'll continue to work for this and other issues for you. I guess my time is up.
I think in order to attack the very root of the problem with people not having problems with the profession of religious observance is to actually attack the apathy and the full frontal assault that religion has to bear on this campus. The First Amendment is freedom of religion. It's not freedom from religion. And I think that in order to attack this problem, we have to realize that religion is out there. It is important, and it is very important to students. And I think that we ought to have a robust exercise of religion, and I don't think that we should be imposing any type of religion on the student body. That includes secular humanism in saying that religion and theocracy does not exist. And once the Cornell professors and such realize, and the administrators, that this is a diverse place, that there are people with different religious backgrounds on this campus who like religion, then we'll be able to attack this problem and we'll be able to solve it.
Hi, my name is Gina Kwan, and I'm also running for University Assembly. I will succinctly state my position by saying I totally support religious holidays, no prelims on these days. Like Mike said, being able to take these. I'm sorry. Like Matt said, you should be able to take these days off without feeling guilt about missing things for the prelim, whatnot. So that's my position. I'm sorry.
Hello again. My name is Scott Beamer. I'm running for University Assembly, and I think that one of the big things we can do about this issue is even more than making students able to miss classes on religious holidays. We should make the schedule more open to people of different religious beliefs, and we should accept everybody's opinions on this. I think that that religion is something that Cornell needs to embrace, and that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
I'm Amy. I'm also running for UA, and on the issue of religious holidays, I definitely support professors being more kind in their scheduling for us. I'm in the ILR school, and I know that all of my teachers have been very kind, and at the beginning of the year they'll go into it and they'll tell us all that if we have religious holiday observances that they can make arrangements. And I even have a friend who's going to a bat mitzvah this weekend, and she's missing her prelim, so he's letting her make it up, and I think we should just continue to support it and let it develop more.